Right now, as I speak, millions and millions of drivers are saving money on their car insurance with GEICO. If you're one of those drivers, well done. If you're not, it's easy to join them. Visit geico.com today.
Very pleased to have with us on the line the head coach of the BYU Cougars, Bronco Mendenhall. Coach, welcome to the show. You're on with Bruce and Mark.
Thanks. Good to be with you.
And, Coach, this is Mark Neville, and what can Poinsettiable fans, our local college football fans, what can we expect to see from the BYU Cougars?
They can expect to see a very physical, tough, hard-playing football team that will play right to the very end, regardless of competition, regardless of setting, and regardless of opponent. It's a team that has fantastic tradition, one of the best in the country. Besides that, now one of only 7 teams, from my understanding, the last 7 years to at least have won 7 games or more. It's one of the most successful programs in the country. Huge following, very specific institution, very unique purpose. One of the most unique programs in the world that can't wait to come and play.
Coach Bruce Binkowski here. You have a relationship with the San Diego State coach, Rocky Long. Could you tell our listening audience how you two first met and how it's gone from there?
Man, it's been a fantastic journey. Rocky Long was the defensive coordinator at Oregon State and hired me as a defensive line coach when his then defensive line coach, Brady Hoke, left to go to Michigan. So I replaced Brady Hoke on Oregon State staff under Rocky Long as the defensive line coach when he was the coordinator. Rocky then became defensive coordinator at UCLA. I inherited his position at Oregon State. We then reconnected when he became the head coach at New Mexico. He hired me as his defensive coordinator. We then worked for 5 years together as I was his assistant head coach the last year and defensive coordinator for the other 4. And he trained and taught me most of the defense that I know. I learned a lot about toughness, program design, and really asking a lot of players from him. And so most of the success that I've had and what I've learned, at least in defensive football, has come from him. And I have a lot to be thankful for, and he still is a friend and a mentor to me in this business.
Well, small world. Which brings me to the next question then, Coach. So you both are so familiar with your defenses. Is he going to surprise you with anything? Are you going to try and surprise him? Is there a little gamesmanship going on there, or what happens?
Yeah, I don't necessarily think so. We both know each other very well, but the systems are different. Rocky has stayed with the 3-3-5, which is what he taught me. I then have chosen to go 3-4 at BYU for our personnel reasons and a very specific type of player that comes to BYU. But a lot of the same concepts. I guess in answer to your question, when I was the defensive coordinator at BYU, having just been hired from New Mexico, we played each other. I was using the exact same signals and the exact same defense Rocky was using across the field in the same game. So I could look across, see his signal, see what the defense was going to do, and the game was something like 10-7. And so neither one of us could get across to our offenses what was coming and to do anything about it. So if we're using the exact same system with the exact same signals and it didn't influence the outcome, it probably won't now.
So do you expect a defensive battle then here on December 20th?
Not necessarily. You never know. I mean, I respect Rocky tremendously in the type of defense he plays, and we've had a strong year defensively also. But San Diego State runs the ball very well. They score a bunch of points in each and every game. And that in and of itself, I've never been able to predict well what's going to happen. And it could be 50-49 or it could be 13-12 or anywhere in between. That's the exciting nature of this matchup. I think 2 very good teams. San Diego State's had a great year, 9-3. There are similar opponents that we've lost to. San Diego State barely lost to San Jose. We were upset by them late in the year as well in a really close game. And so if you look at common opponents, it looks like a hard-fought, pretty even matchup just on paper anyway.
We're talking with head coach of the BYU Cougars, Bronco Mendenhall. Coach, who are a couple of the players on your team that San Diegans should keep an eye out for?
Well, I'll start defensively. We have one of the most unique human interest stories in the world today on college football. That's Ziggy Ansah. Ezekiel Ansah is from Ghana. Came to the United States to BYU trying to run track at BYU. He's about 6'5", almost 285 pounds, runs at 200 meters, still under 22 seconds. 40-inch vertical jump. He's projected in the first or second round by the NFL scouts and couldn't even put on his own equipment 3 years ago, as he'd never played the game before and couldn't make it through a practice. And so in 3 total years of playing football from a different country, language, cultural barriers, and learning a game he's never played, he now has a great chance to go on and make this a profession. So he would be one. But then we have a freshman running back, Jamal Williams, whose mom was a member of the Olympic track team, whose sister is one of the elite 14-year-old or 15-year-old runners in the country today in the 200 meters and the 100 meters. And Jamal is our tailback coming to BYU as a 16-year-old, graduated from high school, who I believe at that point was the youngest player in college football this year. He's now 17, but he's an exciting player for us. And so those are 2 players with very unique stories that I think are pretty intriguing.
Coach, you've had some tough situation at quarterback, injuries everywhere you turn. As you look back at the year and as you head into the bowl game, I don't want you to say, hey, this is who we're playing, but do you have an idea who's going to start at quarterback right now?
A decent idea. It's been a really interesting dynamic for us. We're about 4 plays total away from 3 and maybe 4 more wins, having Notre Dame, which we led almost the entire game right to the end.
Yep.
And so regardless of what's happened at quarterback, our team finds a way to battle and compete no matter who we play right to the very end. And we're still waiting to see if Riley Nelson, what his health will be like. Our backup was hurt, Taysom Hill, when Riley went out earlier in the year with injury. And now James Lark, a fifth-year senior, had an opportunity against New Mexico State and threw the ball all over the field for very unique and records that have stood for a long time. So it could be one or the other, or it could be a combination of both. It remains to be seen. So I have an idea, but without saying any further, I think I'll just let the intrigue build.
I like that.
We do like that. And Coach, San Diego is looking forward to a great football game on December 20th. And thanks so much for carving out some time for us here today.
We are thrilled to be invited. We can't wait to be back in San Diego, and I'm going to do everything I can to make sure our team does well in this partnership and makes it a great day for the fans.
Well, we will be talking very soon.
Okay, thanks a lot.